to episode 2 of the Herbal Q&A. If you missed the first episode, it was on shivers related to horses. If you want to click on the links, you can follow that and have a look at it. But now we've got a topic on dogs, and we're going to talk today about mobility issues in dogs. So, Cath, tell us a little bit about the sort of things we see in the practice as far as mobility issues go.
I think the primary thing that we see is old dogs that are just not moving well, hence why we call it generally mobility issues. But there's everything from arthritis to hip dysplasia to neurological conditions that cause paralysis of the hind legs. There's a lot that can happen.
Dog issues are probably one of the biggest, well, dog clients are our biggest clients, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And mobility is probably the biggest issue we have with dogs. So we get a lot of questions. So let's go straight into the questions. And the first one we got here from one of our customers. And don't forget to send your questions in. These came in over the email, so we'll go straight into it. First question is, what's the difference between degenerative myelopathy and spondylosis?
So spondylosis is a generic term, and it just applies basically to an age-related deterioration of the spine in the dog. Degenerative myelopathy is a slightly different condition altogether. That has to do with the nervous system and the central nervous system, primarily to control the hind legs of the dog, where there is a deterioration of the myelin sheath through the central nervous system.
And there are particular breeds that are susceptible?
Long back breeds tend to be affected primarily by spondylosis.
So things like Alsatians and stuff.
Well, not Alsatians. No.
There you go. I'm wrong.
No.
That's why we're having a Q&A, because I don't know what I'm talking.
It's more like dachshunds. So long back corgis, basset hounds. Yeah. Those sorts of dogs tend to be more affected by these conditions because there's an uneven weight distribution. Whereas your Alsatians, they have problems because of the way they've been bred now, where there is issues within the breed itself. But hip dysplasia is one of the biggest problems there, and that really is attributed to larger dogs.
The question is, what causes hip dysplasia?
So hip dysplasia is primarily a genetic problem because of the way the animal structure is. Size can have a lot to do with it. Obesity can have a lot to do with it. And if it happens to be, it is actually a gene. Now they do check it in nearly all dogs. So if you are buying a purebred dog, you can get a DNA test for some of these conditions. Hip dysplasia is one.
Right.
And as it turns out, young dogs, if they do have that propensity to have hip dysplasia, there are things that you can do to help prevent that from actually becoming a serious problem. And one of those things is to not let them jump up all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Can dogs have multiple orthopedic conditions?
Of course, because people can, horses can, so dogs can.
So is there common ones that occur together?
Well, I guess what you have to bear in mind that once you have one deteriorating condition, then it makes sense that you're going to have compensation issues within that biomechanical structure, and you're going to have other things appear because of it. So say for example, you might have a weakened cruciate ligament on one side of the dog's leg. So then you might find further on down the track, the other leg gets problems, say arthritis in the joints because of
bearing the weight.
Because they're bearing the weight differently. So it's very common to have